I'm at the station. I will mention this in the video, but I just wanted to apologize for my wet hair during the video because it was way too hot and I could not dry it with a hair dryer. So I apologize for that. Enjoy the video.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Fran, this is Fran Looking the Pages, and today I have a video for you that I'm very excited about. It's literally everywhere right now and that has really put me in the mood to do it as well, even though I'm late to the party, as always. Today I'm going to do the mid-year reading check-in book tag. It is a mouthful, that name, but it is basically an alternative version of the mid-year freak-out book tag. I saw this on Jesse the Reader's channel and I really loved his take on it. He added some questions, tweaked some things, and I just loved the end result so much that I thought that was the tag that I was going to do, so here we are. Also, I have to leave in literally 20 minutes because I have a train to catch, so we are going to set a 20 minutes timer and hopefully I'm going to get this video done in time, so we're going to rush through it, which is something I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but we are gonna try. I have read so many great books this year that I'm so excited about. Like, I truly really loved them and they conquered a new favorite book of all time status, so that's how good they were, and I couldn't narrow it down to one, so I'm going to read to you these titles so that at the end of the year we can see if they make the top best books that I've read this year. So best books of the year so far, I have Act Your Age Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert, of course. That was a given. Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I truly loved this one and I honestly want to reread it again like this month, so we're gonna see if that actually happens. Nimona by Andy Stevenson. I finally read it and I loved it. The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. Same thing, I finally got around to that book and it was as incredible as I thought it was going to be and even more. And last but not least, a revelation, which was the Luis Ortega Survival Club by Sonora Reyes. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did, but it was a YA queer book that truly blew my mind away and I loved it. Without a doubt, also because I haven't read many sequels this year, but that is definitely going to be A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers. It was just as good as the first novella in the Monk and Robot series. I don't know if there's going to be a third novella in this series, but I truly hope so because I need more from that world. I want more of Sibling Dax and Moscow. Maybe I could say A Restless Truth by Freya Marsk. It really disappointed me because it was not as good as the first book in this series, but I haven't finished it, so the second book that I would say was the biggest disappointment of the year is unfortunately Nine Liars by Maureen Johnson. I will go into the reason why I didn't like it in a wrap-up that I'm going to do for the past few months. At some point it's going to come up on my channel, but let's just say that it really disappointed me. I did not like at all what Maureen Johnson did to Stevie and to some other characters, and I was just very disappointed overall. I have read Genderqueer by Maya Kobabe that I saw recommended in a video, even though it wasn't directly recommended to me. I read it in June and I really liked it, so that was a success. And another book that I saw recommended in a video that I think I might truly love is The Mimicking of Known Successes. It is an adult queer sci-fi novella and I'm really enjoying novellas lately, particularly sci-fi stories, so I think it has all the cards to be a book that I eventually end up loving. A Restless Truth by Freya Marsk. I DNF'd it in June and the reasons are many and I'm going to go through all of them in my June wrap-up video, which I have already filmed, so you know that that one is coming soon, but I could not bring myself to finish it. I just couldn't. We have 12 minutes left on the timer, so let's keep it going. I thought of 3 books that came out in the first half of the year that I read and truly enjoyed. I won't go into the specifics of why I liked them because I would like to do that in a wrap-up at some point for all of them, but I'm just going to mention them very quickly also because time is running. The Luis Ortega Survival Club, I truly loved this book. I was not expecting it. It blew my mind away. It is such a layered and nuanced queer YA book that I just loved it so much. The representation in it is wonderful. We have neurodivergent characters, we have queer characters, characters of color, so many great things going on, and the author did them all brilliantly. Big Swiss was definitely on the weird side, but I loved the journey, so that was a success. And last but not least, this is a long title, I'm sorry, Murder Your Employer, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide by Rupert Holmes. This was such a pleasure to read. It was so engaging and addicting, and Neil Patrick Harris narrated it, and Simon Vance as well. Oh my gosh, those voices. Oh my gosh, those voices. The mystery component was just chef's kiss, and I would recommend it to anyone.
Hello, Editing Franny here. It seems like you're coming along with me on this journey on the train. But anyways, I realized in my rush to finish filming the video that I did not answer to the first part of this question, which was a book that came out in the first half of the year that you want to read. And that, of course, has to be, oh gosh, it's a long title. I think it is The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. I think I nailed it. Gosh, I'm proud of me. And this is the second secret project book that Sanderson worked on during lockdown, because while the rest of the world was despairing and just miserable, he was writing tons of books apparently. So The Emerald Sea was just brilliant. It was the work of a pure genius, according to yours truly. So I have such high hopes for The Wizard's Handbook. I hope that it's going to be as good as the title suggests, and I cannot wait to read it very soon.
For the books that are coming out in the second half of the year, I have The Evolving Truth of Ever Stronger Will by Maya McGregor. This is the second novel written by the author. Maya McGregor also wrote The Many Half-Lived Lives of Sam Sylvester, which I have a review up on my channel if you want to check it out. But let's just say that it was one of my favorite books of last year. It is one of my favorite books of all time, without a doubt. So I have high hopes for this one. And also Murder Crossed Her Mind by Stephen Spotswood. This is the 4th book in the Pentecost and Parker series. I think that's the name. I've enjoyed all the books in this series. I've particularly loved the 3rd one, and this one is coming out in December. I cannot wait. I'm going to read all the books in this series. I hope that it's a never-ending series because it is that good. It is a great queer mystery series that is set in the 1940s era in New York, and it's incredible. A book that I've bought this year and that I don't have with me, unfortunately, right now, because all my books are in boxes because we moved again, and that is just my life. But that is a French book that has been translated into Italian, and it is called E alla fine muoiono by Lubilu. This is like a sort of satiric but comic essay about fairy tales, and the way the book was made with gilded pages and all these lovely, beautiful details, it's just so good. I also met the artist, the author, and she signed it for me with a nice little drawing. It is so beautiful. It might be one of the few books, if not the only book I've bought this year so far. 5 minutes left on the timer. I've definitely read a lot of YA and coming-of-age books. That's kind of a constant with me. But I've also been reading more fantasy books, which I am very excited about. As I've said, I've been reading more fantasy, which is something that I definitely wanted to do this year, so I'm very happy about that. I'm also having a sort of middle grade moment. I'm picking up a lot of middle grade books, but most importantly, I am loving all the middle grade books that I've picked up so far, and that just makes me so happy because I love to find and to read a great middle grade book, particularly if it's queer, because I think it is so important to have a queer middle grade books. And another thing that I've noticed is that I am getting better at picking up books that I end up loving. Apart from a few exceptions here and there, of course, most of the books that I've read this year are either 4 stars or 5 stars. I have a few 3 stars, I have 1 DNF, but the majority is 4 stars and above in rating, which, you know, it's a very good sign that perhaps I'm not yet reading as much as I would like to, but I am truly enjoying most of the reading, and that's just the best. That's the most important thing. Not the quantity, but the quality and your enjoyment of what you read. How are they going? That is a good question. I set a few bookish goals this year. I am trying to choose books that I think I'm going to enjoy, and that is going very well. I am trying to read mostly queer books, and that is also going very well. I said that I wanted to listen to a lot of audiobooks, and that is also something that I'm doing. However, I haven't read any, maybe, Italian book so far, and that is something that I said I was going to do, 1 per month at least. So that's a big epic fail. And I also said that I was going to read more physical books that I owned, because that is something that I wanted to do. I wanted to have on my shelves books that I truly loved, or that I think I would truly love. And so I wanted to slowly start going through them, and I've only read 1 physical book that I owned so far this year. So that is also not going very well, but it can be improved, okay? These are things that I can try to improve in the second half of the year, so let's be hopeful. Audiobooks, of course. Shit! The last one. I'm not quite sure about this one, but I'm going to say Nimona by Andy Stevenson, because it was a lot of fun, but it also had like very deep and emotional and serious moments, and it was queer and it was entertaining, and I devoured it, and it's definitely a vibe that I want to keep for the second half of the year. Okay, we're done. I need to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of the books that I've mentioned and if you liked them. Also, please feel free to reply to the questions of this tag in the comments down below, because you guys know that I love reading your answers and talk about books with you. And that is it. I need to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you very soon with my June wrap-up. Finally, at last it's coming. But until then, have a good one, take care, and keep reading. Warm hugs. Bye.